This is my third time doing this intro. I feel like I don't know how to do YouTube anymore. I'm like nervous, guys. Did you guys miss me? I said I was gonna do this on Friday and I didn't. But that's fine, happens to the best of us. This is a new microphone, by the way. A lot of new audio stuff. New desk setup, the bands, you guys know how it goes. Little Apollo, some, if you guys know music stuff, this is like, this is where my money goes for trading. I love doing music, and if you guys want to keep up with what I'm doing when I'm not trading, let me know in the comments, and I'll make that a bit more available to you guys. One of you guys found my music page, and I was like, shut the fuck up. Don't talk about. Like, it's my alter ego. But you guys should notice the audio is a lot better. That's like a big thing that I hated when I was doing my older videos is I was like, man, this audio freaking sucks. But now we have a new microphone. This is actually like processed audio, so you should notice. There's like plugins that I use. We're getting ahead of ourselves. I'm like nervous, guys. It's been so long. What's going on? I hope you guys missed me. We're just gonna get right into things here. I'm on my first combine since October, I think. So it has been a little bit. Let me make sure actually there's nothing on here that's gonna dox me. I think we're good. I think my full name is public domain, but let me just in case it isn't. I'm gonna show you where we're at. This is the first combine. Again, you can see here that we started on the 30th of September or December. I've lost a handful of trades, but they're not big losers. We're taking profit at some different spots. Win percent is not where we want it to be. But we are overall profitable on this new session. We've taken more trades than I want to be taking on a combine. But again, I'm not really rushing to get back into things crazy style. We're one more day away from passing. I'm going to try to get this all in one go. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't have even got this. But let me pull up the trade that we took, and then I'll kind of just walk you guys through what my game plan is going into 2026. Pull up here. I should have prepared this a little bit better, but I have the screen recording as always of when I took profit on this trade. I have all my chart executions. If you guys look at my posts, as in like my on YouTube, you can post with text and stuff. That's not where I want to be. I want to be on photos. Yeah, guys, how have we been? I hope we've been chilling. Let's just kind of get right into things. This was the last trade that I took. Let me pull it up here on ES and NQ. Where is this at on NQ or ES? Okay, so it's over here. I think so at least. Or is it over here? This is gonna. You guys know how it goes. My editing and everything is gonna stay poor, but now you have better quality, audio. So I don't really remember how this trade played out, but I do want to show you guys kind of just what I've been up to as I've been getting back on the charts. I took a long break, and the reason being was just that price action really, really has sucked these past couple of weeks, in my opinion. There was a lot of reasons, I think, for that. I'll kind of walk you through that before we get into anything, kind of why I haven't been trading. I think a big philosophy behind the way that I trade is I only want to take setups that I like. I don't want to force myself to be trading. If I can't find good setups, I'm not going to gamble on, I like to gamble. I do go to the casino. I'm a gambling man, but not when I go onto the charts. It's very different. They're two different things in my opinion. And I only want to be taking A+ setups that I think fit my model. So when it comes down to the news that just guys, for those of you that are Gen Z, like I was born 2003, the world when it's our turn to be an adult is insane. All the Epstein stuff coming out. Now we're invading Venezuela. These are all going to be things that really impact the markets. And these are things that you have to be conscientious of when you're entering the markets. You have to realize that there's going to be things outside of technical analysis that alter how trades play out. And things are going to happen in ways that you cannot predict purely through technical analysis. So that was kind of my whole thing. Like towards the end of September, I had a monster month, September. Again, go back to the channel. I think we had a 21, 22K month. Maybe it was just 20 on the dot. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we had a really good month in September. So going from there, I'm not at all focused on what I'm doing. I really don't care, to be honest. Right? Last year was my first year trading. we're in the ballpark of 40 to 50. I need to count it up for taxes here soon. When I have the official number, I'll let you know because it's such a pain in the ass to count because I use like 4 different bank accounts throughout. It's been a mess, but we're in the ballpark of $40 to $50,000 profit my first year trading. So I'm not going to force myself to keep trading. This year, I'd love to go for 6 figures trading. I think that'd be really, really cool. We have a Discord that's already made. I just need to get you guys in on that. Buy my course. Just kidding. I don't know if we're going to charge for it. God, this is such a train wreck. I'm so bad at YouTube. Bear with me, guys. This is going to be a really rough video back, but let's kind of get into this trade. I don't even know how I took this trade. So I'm just going to kind of look through it and see what I was probably looking at. 1 minute. Also, I want you guys to let me know how trading has been going for you these past couple months because I've been getting a lot of DMs. And if you guys want to talk to me, DM me on Instagram at persellz on Instagram, PERSELLZ on Instagram. And you guys can talk to me literally whenever you want. I'm always available. Where the hell? Okay, so like right here. Right, yeah. Like right here. Okay. So we use the same model that I've been using literally forever. If you guys look here, we took this trade right around 9 a.m. and that's when PO3 happens for me. If you guys don't know power of 3, it is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So if you look here coming into the market, we have this accumulation phase where again, the market, what's that? What's my keybind for that? Alt Shift R. There we go. We're back. If you got, whoa, that's crazy. I did not know that. Alt R. That's a cool keybind. I did not know that one. That's cool. So if you guys look here, we have this kind of just a period of accumulation where it's just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And then this day, I actually was overall short biased, but I did see longs come in before I saw shorts come in. And that's something that you can kind of expect whenever you're going to see a big move in either direction. You should see a liquidity sweep in the opposite direction. So what I was looking at here was these London session highs that were untapped, right? That's what's marked out right here is London session highs. Don't worry about this SMT. That's completely null and void. But I was looking at these London session highs that didn't get tapped, and that was going to be my draw on liquidity because I assumed that was going to be what was taken out before the market dumped. Because overall, we'd been pretty bearish. We had this big upswing. We took out these resting highs up here, and then we kind of go down, have this period of accumulation. So I was overall bearish, but I did expect that maybe we would see some manipulation to the downside, swing up, and then go down. So what it looks like here, I think this would have been Asia session lows. No, these are London session lows. So what I was looking at here is, are we going to take out London session lows on ES and NASDAQ? So if you look at the S&P 500, which is over here, and we look at these same session lows, we'll see that, I need to go on the 5-minute. This is so cancer. So if we look at the S&P 500, S&P 500 does take out London session lows, like just without a doubt, right? London session lows are taken by the S&P 500, but we do not see the NASDAQ take out these lows right here. So that's my first thing coming into the market is I'm overall bearish for the day, and I'll expect us to see a liquidity sweep of London session highs before we continue lower. And then we see an SMT with London session lows. So that confirms my bias that, hey, we're probably going to end up going lower. Where the hell am I? This is so great. I need to go all the way back. This is why I just needed to start doing trade recaps day of, guys. I'm so sorry about this. The second, goodness gracious. So you guys know me. I love the 15-second candlesticks. I am always on 15-second. That's what I look for my entries on. So you can see that I literally enter on this candle whenever we, so I actually did take a loss this day. I remember now. So I ended up trying to get in a little bit too early. So I got in whenever we inversed this 15-second imbalance here. We took out this internal liquidity, and then we saw displacement through a PD array, which was this 15-second sell side imbalance. It was very premature, but I still had the right idea, so I'm not upset, which is why I ended up going for a re-entry, because then we end up taking out these internal lows, having an SMT at London session lows, and that was when I decided that we were going to get in here. I entered purely off of a change in the stated direction and putting in an SMT and my higher time frame narrative. So here we have the change in the state of direction, right? We have these series of down close candles. We see a manipulation of these lows right here. If we look, I'm not going to go to the 15-second because that would be horrendous to look at. But we saw that NASDAQ almost took out London session lows, but did not. And then we see a change in state of direction, change in state of delivery, excuse me. And that was where I took my entry. So this was the trade that I ended up hopping in at. I probably got in somewhere around the top of this candle closure. And then this is where we hopped in this trade. I had my stop loss set at the SMT that created, or excuse me, the lows that created the SMT. And then from here, again, you guys know me as well. I love adding to positions. So I wasn't fully in until we got another inversion of this imbalance right here. And we saw displacement, right? So we create displacement. We have a little bit of accumulation. I swear that keybind used to work. So we see this accumulation period right here for a minute or two. Then we see us creating displacement on the 15-second, and that gives me confidence to add to my position, right? So at this point, when I decide to add to my contracts, I'm already up 2R on this trade. But I think at this point, I'd probably only risked 400 or so. And for me, when I'm on a combine, I'm always looking to hit that 50% target threshold, right, of my profit. So we end up adding to our positions here. We see us create major displacement. I add one more contract just so I can make sure that I'm really going to be hitting my profit goal for the day, right? Which I think for this day was just a clean 1,500. And then I end up bailing out very last second whenever we take out London session highs. I was out at 25,744. So let's get that 25,744. So I was out literally right at Asia session highs. And this was a 4.6 to 1R trade, a very clean movement. This trade took a grand total of 5 minutes to complete, and then I'm off the charts for the day. Now, again, if I was on another account, or if I wasn't looking to be trading purely for combines, this is where I can start looking for, do I have an entry model for shorts? And I actually didn't end up looking at this. So let's see if I would have been able to catch shorts, right? So did we take out any? It looks like there was no relevant SMT. So chances are I would have probably just taken this for the day. But let's see what we ended up taking out on ES on this move up, or on NASDAQ. Let's see on ES. Oh yeah, so we clearly had an entry for longs, I think. Yeah, or for shorts, because you can see that there was this SMT here with, I guess we already made those though, but that would have been daily bias type shit. But yeah, again, it's the same model as always, guys. Like, I'll put this out for you guys one more time. Daily bias, right? So what's getting respected? That's always what I'm looking at. What's getting respected, right? So if we zoom out on, let's just look at what today's would have been if I decided to wake up and trade. Remove drawings, and then we'll take off chart executions. So if we look here, what's getting respected, what's getting disrespected? Well, we've clearly been disrespectful. Like, nice. I hate my life. If we look at what's getting respected, what's getting disrespected, we had this really big sell side imbalance here that we have just been steadily running through, right? And then, okay, let's zoom in higher on this on the 1 hour, right? So we're on the 1 hour right now. And if we look at what's getting respected, well, right here, we have a 1 hour imbalance. This has held bullish the whole time. This has yet to get inversed, right? Let's look at this sell side imbalance right here. Whoa, this is getting ran. Let's look at this buy side imbalance. It's holding bullish. Let's look at this bullish order block here. It's holding bullish. So coming into the market, I think, whoa, oh, market's open. Bang. All right, let's see if we can find a trade. I wasn't going to trade Asia session today, but seeing as we're here, okay, let's go to the 1 hour. Let's see if this would be so funny if we can find a trade right here. So again, we're clearly bullish here in my opinion. Make sure that we're not taking out any important higher time frame PD arrays. Oh yeah, we do have an SMT, it looks like. Not quite. So these are Christmas Day highs. If we SMT these, that'd be a good entry for shorts. That's funny. This might be a really funny comeback video. All right, so it's these highs up here on NASDAQ. But again, we are overall bullish right now. If we go out to the 4 hour, let's zoom out here and see what we see. Probably should be live streaming this, but whatever. So did this 4-hour candle just open? So this would be a perfect time to look at PO3 actually. So let's see what we end up getting. We'd probably want to see an accumulation or a manipulation leg up to these highs up here on the S&P 500, and then look for a short on NASDAQ. So let's zoom down to the 1 hour. Again, overall bullish on the 1 hour still. So I would need to see some sort of PD arrays get disrespected before I'm looking for shorts. So right now I'm still looking for longs. So let's look for any internal SMTs here to the sell side. Internal SMT right here. But again, that's short. A lot of what's, again, although order flow is looking bullish, I still kind of feel shorts, but I'm not going to force them because overall market order flow has been holding bullish. 5 minute here, see what we get. Yeah, again, 5 minute change in the state. It's not a change in the state because we never were bullish here. We're bearish. Yeah, we're holding bullish here. Let's see how we treat these highs here on the 1 minute. I think this is a pretty easy target up here on the S&P 500. But yeah, I need to see some sort of internal liquidity get swept before I'd feel confident going for longs. Again, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to take a trade right now either. I'll watch the charts, and if something good arises, I'd be open to taking a trade. Yeah, so that SMT got invalidated. We ended up taking out those highs. So we could see a liquidity sweep here, and then if we put in an SMT at any of these lows here, I'd feel confident going for a long. So funny, I was not expecting to trade, but we did catch market open Asia session, so I mean, can't really complain. So some lows that I'm looking at is, of course, this market opening low. Looking at that low. And then I'm looking at any just relevant swing lows. Like this is kind of relevant. This would have been the market closing candle. So, you know, I'd be okay with looking at this one. This is a pretty relevant swing low. But then outside of that, you know, everything has kind of just been this steady move up. So yeah, I'd want to see us come, I'd want to see us come down a little bit before I start, you know, I don't want a long in a premium, essentially. That's kind of what I'm getting at. But yeah, Asia session price action kind of just sucks. So I'm probably not going to take anything. If anything does arise, I'll pop back on and start recording. But besides that, that's really all it is, guys. Just find your daily bias and then do what I'm doing right now, right? Look to see what gets respected, look to see what gets disrespected, and then look to see what would have to happen to cause price to move, right? So I'm thinking if I want price to move higher right here, I'd have to see institutional buy orders get filled. And these institutional buy orders are going to generally get filled at points of liquidity in a discount, right? Again, think about it in terms, I'll make my face game a bit bigger for this so we're not really focused too much on the charts. But if I'm a big institutional trader, I want this just worked a second ago to fill in here. What's this button to get my pencil? Whatever. If I'm an institutional buyer, I want to get my orders filled down here and then see a move up, right? I don't want to get my order filled up here if I'm going long. And that's going to be like everyone thinks it's not like orders are just resting for limit orders and stop fills, right? That's not always how this kind of stuff is going to work. Sometimes you'll just, you know, oh, hold on, this actually looks like it could be decent here in a second. We might actually see a decent long here in a second. Because again, like I said, we come up here, we sweep this liquidity. We come down here, we might hunt some of these resting lows here. What I think is most reasonable is that the S&P 500 takes out this closing candle low from New York session. And then we see a reversal on NQ. This actually isn't looking too bad. This would be a change in the state to the downside. Again, I did say that shorts looked pretty good, but I don't just want to start monkey pressing buttons and start shorting when we're in a bullish market. That was London or New York. Are we going to SMT these lows? Decent amount of volatility on market open. I mean, again, just looking at market open here, there's a decent amount of volatility. If you look at the price range, I mean, how many points is this? I mean, yeah, 90 points of price action in the first minute or first 2 minutes. I mean, that's not a bad range to work with. And then this is kind of like a little bit of orb to opening range breakout. Like if we come down, take out these lows, some people trade that way. Orb isn't my favorite model. I've tried a little bit of orb, but again, it's something where don't marry one specific model, right? I don't marry opening range breakout. I don't marry power of three. It's just things that help me put together a market narrative. And that's something that I've been preaching for a very long time since I've started this channel, or as I've gotten a bit more mature in my trading. That's kind of my whole shtick is I feel like my job is to understand the story the market is telling me and then inferring where I think price wants to go from the story I've been told, right? So here, the story I'm getting is we're overall bullish. We have a lot of volatility on Asia session opening. And if what I think is going to happen next comes true, I want to go long. And what I think is going to happen next is we are going to see a divergence in price between two correlating assets, being the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. We'll see one of these lows get taken out, and then we'll continue higher. That's what I think is going to happen. And if that doesn't happen, I just accept that I was incorrect and I get off the charts for the day without taking any type of loss, right? How long have I been recording for? 23 minutes. I'll let it run till 30 minutes just for the watch time, and then we'll see what happens. 15 seconds. You guys know me. I love my 15-second. We could also see this SMT at these highs up here and then continue lower. Because right now, this is our opening range thus far. Again, this kind of goes back to orb like I was talking about a second ago. Just kind of understanding the range that we're working with, right? This is the range that we're working with. And if we put in an SMT at these highs and we're in a premium, it is profitable in the long run to go for a short in that kind of situation. If we get the confluence, right? But we'll kind of just see what we get. See what happens. Need some background music. Need some background music indeed. What background song shall we pick? Hmm. Background music, background music. Hope you guys like that one. Where is it at? Hold on, let me check the charts really quick too, just in case nothing cool is happening. I'm gonna edit all this out too. Don't worry, guys. Oh wait, I can just do this. Yeah, let's do. Yeah.
Yeah, whoa. Spent the summer flying, this my last flight. Yeah, whoa. Pouring up in the Fanta, they don't have Sprite. Get sodium high, I remember last night. It's all a blur, I don't even know where we were. I was dropping the bag, yeah, that sound right. My money absurd, live a very lavish life. I know that you heard, study and observe. You would see I'm living right. I fucked up my funds way more than once. Yeah, bro. Now I pull up coupe, the 4 and 1. Can't go up the driveway, fuck my bumper up.
So what we're looking for here is to see which of these lows get taken out first for our opening range breakout.
I fucked up my funds way more than once. I know that you.
Make it background music. So we're seeing this move down here on NASDAQ that we're not seeing on. Okay, we are seeing it. Let's go on the 1 minute.
Get high on pills, I'm off a pill, I'm off a pill. Get good for real, make money still, you know the deal. Giotto bills, my body kit, carbon fiber grill, it's a custom build. I fucked up my funds way more than once. Yeah, now I pull up coupe, the 4 and 1. Can't go up the driveway, fuck my bumper up.
We're so back, chat. We're so back. I need to go live is what I need to do. No, I'm gonna do this live. All right, that's this video. No editing.